latest chapter of a historic rivalry. It's the Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles, and it comes your way next.
Opened back in 2003, have a look at the Lincoln Financial Field, where 70,000 are rocking and ready to go in Philadelphia. Today, longtime foes square off in the NFC East, as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Well, what a season it was for these Eagles and these Philly fans last year. An 8-0 start, 14-3 final record, 2 blowout wins in the NFC playoffs before coming up a bit short in Super Bowl 57.
And a good thing for Philadelphia as they try and get back to the Super Bowl, many of the key pieces they had last year are back. Remember, this is the number 3 offense in the league, number 2 defense, and they threw in a heck of an NFL draft. They expect to contend one more time.
Meanwhile, for the Commanders, this is a team that many think could be the 4th best in the NFC East, but they've got a pretty strong defense that's going to probably keep them in some ball games.
Their investment in talent has certainly paid off. Number 4 against the pass a season ago. Number 4 overall in total defense. Nothing to shake a stick at. If they get good quarterback play, look out.
Here's Gibson to start the drive. Oh, breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley through the middle of the field. Inside the 20. Antonio Gibson. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson, 75 yards. And the Commanders get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Boston Scott on the return from his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here first and 10 at their own 18. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That is incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Well, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long. He'll drop to throw. No, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Well, really not much secret there, 3rd and long, Charles, that he was looking to throw the football. And I would imagine as a defender, you're kind of salivating in that spot, right?
You certainly are, because 3rd and long situations, they tip the scale towards the defense every single time. Now you're actually able to dictate and understand what the offense is trying to do. You know where the first down marker is. You set your defense that way, and maybe you can be a little more aggressive in certain situations because of that. You start focusing on your coverage assignment, and when the ball's released, you break on it and make a play, as we just saw there.
And great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Throwing here, Howell. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Sly able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
Right back to Swift again on second down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting one more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
They'll try and run here with Swift. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
On 2nd down, Swift. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Hurts sets up to throw it. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
63, 63, hey, 73, 73. Crowd, let's get it.
They're going on 4th down with Hurts. That is caught, and he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one.
Crowd, let's get it. Crowd, 73. Go Silver, ready?
On 1st down, Hurts. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. They're all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. They got 29 yards that time.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the gun, here's Swift. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Now an option play on 2nd down. That play gets them 6 yards and sets them up with a 1st and goal.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a 1st down with some nice running.
Now 2nd quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession. As they come up now, 2nd and goal. On the sneak, it's Hurts, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Eagles have got it back to within a score. Elliott good with a PAT. That'll cut it to 3, 10-7. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it was capped off by the quarterback sneak for 6. And Gibson decides against bringing it out. The Washington offense set to take over. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. Josh Sweat rushing in and bringing him down to the ground. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Nice job on the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive.
And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely love what they were doing, because to be ahead of a defense that much, where every play call you have, run or pass, is working pretty well for you.
Makes you look like a genius.
It really does. It also lets you know that your preparation was pretty good, and now the defense has to do all the adjusting.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and they're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They got to find a way to get back in sync.
Eagles, 1st down.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Silver, check. Hey!
Here's Hurts to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
On 2nd down, here's the option. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. They'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2.
It's a turnover on down.
On 1st down, Howell. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field and took away his intended read and almost dared him to try and put his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
Howell's throw into the hands of McLaurin. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. 2 minutes remaining in the 1st half. 10-7 our score. Howell to the air on 1st and 10. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Buried for the sack by big Jalen Carter. And the Eagles Eagles with a dime look. 6 DBs on third down. On the counter, Gibson. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And take it right at the 35. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10.
Miami.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. That's caught inside the 20. A big play there just before halftime. 41 yards. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. That's out to the flat for Swift. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming.
Hey, 73, 73.
They run out of the gun with Swift. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Hurts. And Goddard's got it. Touchdown Eagles. A great play there as the first half is winding down. And the Eagles have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Elliott good on the extra point. And the lead is now 14-10. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, back to you guys in just a moment, but welcome everyone to our Creative Village studios in the EA Sports Halftime Report. The Eagles got a solid first half from last year's MVP runner-up, Jalen Hurts. He had a touchdown both in the air and on the ground to help push his guys into the lead at the break. Both these teams making their final halftime adjustments. We're just about ready to get back to football. So for the call of the second half, we get back up to Philadelphia and Brandon Gott.
And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. The Eagles ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's to the speedster Olamide Zaccheaus. Touchdown, Philadelphia! Olamide Zaccheaus, 75 yards. And the Eagles come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes it a 21-10 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And Gibson decides against bringing it out. First possession of the second half now for Washington. They make their second half debut here. Things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done. and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game.
Howell, he'll look to throw it. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Well, Howell's going to mix it up here. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. And the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. Fourth down coming up. Here's Tressway now, as he's on to punt for Washington. It's taken to the 26. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and out will come the offense as they take over. Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for Philly. 43 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll send a receiver in motion left. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Quick slant here to Smith. Touchdown, Eagles! Devontae Smith on the receiving end from Jalen Hurts. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Elliott on for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was finished off by a touchdown from Devontae Smith. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And Gibson decides against bringing it out. So out comes Washington's offense to take over. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
With a play fake, and now here's Howell to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. Third and long, here's Howell. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. It's like a 9-yard loss. And it also brings up 4th. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go?
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown, 56 yards. And the Eagles get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Elliott now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the zone for 6.
And Gibson decides against bringing it out. Here we go on the next drive for Washington. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
Jalen Carter picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Here's Tressway now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He'll take it at the 42.
So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards.
And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over.
Wide receiver A.J. Brown, you see he and the rest of his mates returning to the field here.
And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he is really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. You never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second-half blowout material. Throwing is Hurts.
This is Smith with the ground. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They get 17 down.
Ron Rivera scowling down on the sideline, and he's thrown out direction. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. On the option to give to Swift here.
And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown.
DeAndre Swift.
A 16-yard touchdown run.
And the Eagles will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And Gibson decides against bringing it out. Washington ready to try again on offense. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
A gain of 14, 1st down Commanders.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
1st down, Howell to throw.
That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the Eagles' 48-yard line.
2nd down, Howell back to pass. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
The offense on third down, they're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Ron Rivera, the gambling type, but he comes up empty here. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48.
Great. 63. Tiger Hornet.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. Comeback route here, and he's got Smith complete.
And he's got this down to the 35. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
Swift going to try up the middle.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
No sweat from Montez Sweat that time as he makes that stop look easy.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
Over the middle here to Brown. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does. As many games as the two of us do, I would hope that one day we'll be able to solve this riddle. Why is it on a hot day that one team has more trouble with the heat than another, and especially when you can't stop a guy running the ball?
You know it's September in the booth, though, when you and I have both removed our coats, and those were gone in the first quarter.
They were gone in the first quarter, and what we're watching now is a defense mentally giving in and sagging a little bit because they haven't been able to stop him.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
75 yards on the ground here for Swift, and he's got a first down as well.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep him.
And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, definitely a good day's work throwing the football. Very good day's work. A 4th touchdown pass as they're really pouring it on.
Yeah, and so much for going into clock mode after getting that touchdown, right? Because you would think with the lead, 4th quarter, they might actually do that. No chance. They've kept attacking and got another touchdown pass as a result.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And Gibson decides against bringing it out.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
2nd down, Howell now.
This one complete to Curtis Samuel.
Down the right sideline.
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Extra point by Sly is up and good
as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but They've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they got me awfully happy with their execution overall.
Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him the first down.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Now it looks like he'll throw here.
A throw out wide going to be incomplete. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
11 yards for number 11.
Eagles, first down. First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's caught inside the 20. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 33 yards that time.
Now Hurts on the option right. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
And Gibson decides against bringing it out. The Washington offense set to take over again. CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
He's going to drop this one down to Gibson.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40.
And they get 17 more on that one and another first down.
And the Washington first down.
Out of the gun, it's Howell.
And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Howell with one final shot. One last shot at the end zone.
And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And to be frank, Charles, probably not too many people surprised at how this one turned out.
Yeah, I don't think so at all. I mean, they're such a good football team. They were at home. You know, you walked in and you looked at the advantages and you saw that they had most of them. It'd take a lot to try